Most people driving over the I-5 bridge in Vancouver have no idea what's moving beneath them. Billions in grain, massive wind turbines, and the literal wings of the world's aerospace industry. This is the Columbia River Corridor, the PNW's secret global artery. Welcome to Global Arteries. Most people driving over the I-5 bridge in Vancouver have no idea what moves beneath them. They see water, they see light, they see the occasional boat. They do not always see the work. They do not see the value. This is the Columbia River Corridor. It is a massive economic engine, hidden in plain sight. It moves billions of dollars in goods. It connects the heart of America to the far corners of the world. It is the Pacific Northwest's secret global artery. A silent, powerful force that rarely makes the headlines, but always makes a difference. The river itself is a living thing. It is born in the high, cold mountains of British Columbia. It runs west for over 1,000 miles to the sea. It carves a path through ancient basalt rock, creating the stunning Columbia River Gorge. The first place many people learn about the river's industrial power is the Bonneville Lock and Dam. It is a concrete and steel behemoth that straddles the river about 40 miles east of Portland. Bonneville sits where the river narrows and the current quickens. Its primary job is to tame the wild water, creating a navigable staircase so ships and barges can pass. It is a huge gate and a tall wall, holding back the immense pressure of the Columbia. It is the first of 8 locks that transform the river into a reliable commercial waterway, a gatekeeper for the inland empire. Boats and barges do not simply sail through, they pass through the lock in carefully managed stages. Giant steel gates close behind it, sealing it off from the lower river. Workers on the lock wall guide them. Machines begin to move water. You can feel the vibration as the water rushes in through underground tunnels. The chamber slowly fills, lifting the vessels, some weighing thousands of tons, up to the level of the water on the other side. Once the water level is equalized, the upstream gates swing open and the tow moves out into the calmer reservoir behind the dam. This process is repeated thousands of times a year, the heartbeat of the river's commerce. The barges are the backbone of the river corridor. They are the heavy lifters, the workhorses that make the system profitable. These are not small vessels, long, flat-topped steel boxes designed to float immense weight. A single standard grain barge can carry over 100,000 bushels of wheat, about 35 large semi-trucks. A tow of 4 barges, pushed by one powerful tugboat, is like a slow-moving freight train on the water. This is how America's heartland reaches the coast efficiently and economically. The journey begins far inland. Tows move downriver from the vast rolling wheat fields of eastern Washington, eastern Oregon, and Idaho. They pass towering grain elevators, skyscrapers of grain on the flat landscape. Elevators act as temporary storage, modern-day granaries. At river terminals, massive cranes and long conveyor chutes move grain from elevators into empty barges below. Grain cascades in a golden river, filling the holds for the long trip to deepwater ports. From there, the grain ships to the world. Major buyers in Asia, Africa, and the Middle East depend on this wheat. The grain becomes bread, noodles, and feed. The river is the fastest, cheapest, most fuel-efficient way to move bulk cargo. Barges use far less fuel per ton mile than trucks or trains. That efficiency saves money and reduces the supply chain's carbon footprint. The system relies on deep inland ports like Lewiston, nearly 500 miles from the Pacific. 600 miles of navigable water let remote farmers join the global economy. Barges are their lifeline, turning landlocked fields into ocean-accessible exporters. Without these quiet, steady carriers, farming economics here would look very different. This is the gateway where 40% of U.S. wheat exports begin their journey. The Columbia River Corridor is not just a waterway, it is a multimodal transportation hub. Where the river flows, railways and highways often follow, parallel streams of commerce. The tracks of major freight railroads hug the riverbanks for miles. Near Vancouver, Washington, just across from Portland, trains run so close to the water they feel like one system. They carry containers, lumber, chemicals, and the fuselages for the Boeing 737. These are not small parts. They are the hollow aluminum bodies of the world's most popular passenger jet. They arrive by rail from a supplier in Wichita, Kansas, heading to Boeing's final assembly plant in Renton, Washington. Seeing them is an arresting sight. Long white cylinders, oddly fragile looking, lashed to specialized flat cars. They pass under bridges and through small towns, a procession that makes people stop and stare. For Boeing and its suppliers, these components are worth millions, and the rail line is their conveyor belt. The railway provides what the river cannot: precision timing for high-value, time-sensitive goods. The 737 fuselages must hit a precise schedule to keep assembly moving. The river moves the bulk, the rails move the precision parts. Together, the synergy makes the corridor powerful. The numbers behind this corridor are staggering. The sheer volume and value can be hard to comprehend. Think about the wheat alone. The Columbia Snake System is the single largest wheat export gateway in the United States. Billions in agricultural value flow beneath the bridges of Portland and Vancouver. A single large shipment of Boeing 737 fuselages can be worth millions. From the combine to the elevator, to the barge, to the massive ocean-going ship, value is created at every step. This is not abstract. It supports real lives and communities. Farm families, truck drivers, union longshoremen, and port workers, often under floodlights late into the night. Rail crews and tugboat operators keep the chain moving. Beyond grain and plains, the corridor moves a diverse array of goods. The same dams that enable navigation also generate clean hydroelectricity that lights homes, runs factories, and powers ports. Rules, pilots, inspections, and heavy-duty terminals keep the artery from clogging and commerce flowing. Behind the big machines and the big numbers are the people. The Columbia River Corridor runs on human skill, dedication, and hard work, men and women who keep the artery flowing. Tugboat crews live on their vessels for weeks, steering thousands of tons through fog, high winds, and strong currents. Their work demands deep focus and practical knowledge of every mood and contour of the river. At the ports, work continues around the clock. Crane operators delicately maneuver multi-ton loads with precision. Under towering lights, they turn docks into a stage. Rail crews secure 737 fuselages, checking every chain and strap. Engineers and maintenance teams keep dams and locks safe and operational. Steady, methodical, highly skilled, making a barge's effortless passage possible. They are the guardians of the system, ensuring reliability year after year. The hours are long, the work demanding, the risks real under summer sun and winter rain. Yet pride runs deep here. They stand in a long tradition, the essential human engine of the Columbia. To truly understand the corridor, you have to see it in its entirety. The landscape tells the story. A majestic green ribbon carved through the sheer dark cliffs of the gorge. Epic beauty, and if you look closer, industry. Unwavering lines etched by barges, steel ribbons of rail curving beside them. Cars filled with the raw materials of our economy. A study in contrasts, majestic and wild, gritty and industrial. Elevators rise like geometric sentinels of the interior. Dams impose a brutalist logic on the river's flow. Linger on both. The Columbia's story is coexistence, however imperfect. Locks and dams have altered ecosystems. Historic salmon runs and native fish have paid a cost. Heavy traffic strains aging infrastructure. Constant maintenance is required. Built for a 20th century climate, the corridor must adapt, balancing trade with stewardship in a century of uncertainty. So when you see a lone barge or a distant train near the Columbia, think of the entire path. Think of the farmer in Idaho who planted in spring, trusting it would find a market. Think of the crane operator in Longview working a night shift to unload a ship. Think of the engineers in Wichita who designed a fuselage, and the builders in Renton who will assemble the final 737. Think of the ocean-going vessels connecting this corner to distant customers. All of them depend on this same corridor. The Columbia River Corridor is far more than a waterway. It is a dynamic, integrated system of people, machines, and places. It is the primary way the Pacific Northwest connects to the world. It moves the food we eat, the power we use, and the complex parts of our technological life, value measured in billions each year. Largely hidden beneath daily commutes, it is a silent giant, absolutely vital to the region's prosperity. Next time you cross the I-5 bridge, look down. Take a moment. Notice the barges waiting, the trains rolling, the long journey from fields and factories to ships bound for distant shores. This ribbon of water and steel keeps our goods flowing out, keeps jobs here at home, and keeps our part of the world moving. The artery never rests.